Hello, this is a prepaid collect call from
the weaker vessel.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going pretty good over here. Just cleaning up my car. Kind of.
I'm feeding Henry. We just got done at the grocery store and he was screaming, so we're always on the road, always doing the things.
On the road again.
I just can't wait to get on the road again.
Maybe we can keep going with this, but I don't know if anyone wants us to.
We're losing listeners. The 3 that we have just left.
Right.
Oh goodness.
Man. What have you been up to recently? Anything fun?
Well, when I left the grocery store, I was called a man.
Oh, that wasn't exactly what I was thinking you were gonna say, but okay.
So that was interesting. No, we were like leaving Sam's Club, they check your receipt, and she was like, "Oh, so many babies," and I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Well, have a good day, sir." I was like, "Okay." Thank you. I'm sure it was a mistake, but it was just because I'm like I'm dressed, I did my hair, it's like been, like I have long hair. It's not like I have like a short haircut, or I don't feel like I look like a man, is what I'm saying.
No,
I don't think
you don't.
So I'm sure that it was like she probably had a couple guys before me, but it was just like funny because I didn't even correct her. I wasn't like, "Oh, I'm a girl." I was just like, "Okay." Thank you.
You better be careful with using those pronouns.
I know. I was like, "You assumed the wrong gender."
But like, really?
I prefer the one that's on my birth certificate.
Unlike most. That is so funny.
Anyways, yeah, so that was like my excitement for the day. Apparently I already have on my Halloween costume.
It's funny because I'm actually going to be a man for Halloween. Speaking of Halloween costumes.
I'll pray for you.
Listen, this is the funniest thing. I went to Goodwill, okay?
Okay.
And my brother lives with us, my younger brother. We're 10 years apart. And so he lives with us. And he is very tall. Like very tall.
Yes, he's very tall. What is his height?
I think he's like 6'5" or 6'6".
I told Lane I thought he was 6'5". We have another guy that just joined our church and he's 6'7". And Lucas was like, "You are so tall." And I told Lucas afterwards, I was like, "Actually, he is only 2 inches taller than Uncle Laney." And he's like, "He seems much taller than that." I'm like, "Oh no, Uncle Laney's 6'5", and he said he was 6'7". Anyway, so yeah, we were talking about your brother. Mm-hmm.
He's everyone's Uncle Laney.
Yep.
Anyway, he's staying with us, and he's very tall and very thin. And I'm not short, but compared to him, I'm short, obviously. Yeah. And I'm not as thin as he is. But I found this mask at Goodwill, and it's like it's like a half mask, so it just like kind of pulls over your eyes, like your top of your head and your eyes. And it looks like a burglar who's wearing like a rolled up green stocking cap.
Oh, that's funny.
And it's got like a burglar mask, like for the eyes. And then like your whole like lower face is open. So I bought this mask because it was like 99 cents. And I was like, well, you never know when you can use a good burglar mask.
I mean, I guess we could say fair enough. I mean,
so I bought it because I'm like, I don't know what my kids are gonna do for Halloween, but this could be funny. So I got home.
If nothing else, I can just like play with it and have fun,
Yeah. I got home and I looked at my brother. I showed him the mask, and I was instantly like, I know what we're gonna be for Halloween. But we have a church party every year, a Reformation party. So this year for the Reformation party, Lane and I are going to be the wet bandits from Home Alone.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Because my brother kind of has like a permed mullet right now too. So he's gonna be like the tall, skinny, permed mullet guy, and I'm gonna be Joe Pesci, who's like the short one with my little stocking cap and my burglar mask. It's gonna be hilarious.
That's funny.
So
But
I think it's Joe Pesci who's in that movie. Isn't it Joe Pesci?
yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah.
Anyway,
That's really
so I'm
funny,
gonna
though.
be a man for Halloween, but it's like all in good fun. I'm not actually
Yeah.
trying to like put a message.
Well, yeah, no, that would be, we would not be recording, and we would be having a very serious conversation, and I would also be calling your husband and your pastor.
They're the same. So, I have to like get like a little like lip liner pencil or something though to like make the iron mark on Lane's face. You know how you get the iron in the face?
Oh, yeah.
Would that be so funny?
That's so funny. Just tell Lane that you just like be like, you're just gonna have to toughen up. I have to brand you for this Halloween costume.
No.
It'd be so bad.
Take one for the team.
Like, what was be a good brother?
And then I think I'm just gonna like print off like the wanted signs or whatever for them, and like we'll just like pin them to our outfit.
Yeah, you could like pin them to the back or something,
Yeah. And then I actually Walgreens here has some Christmas stuff out already, and they have those like flashing like Christmas bulb necklaces already out.
Oh yeah.
So I bought one of those. And that kind of like brings it around to like the Christmas season,
Yeah.
So that's my grand idea. That's what we're doing.
Oh, that's great. That's hilarious.
So since we're on this holiday train, let's keep riding it.
Yeah.
Where
we're all about the holidays here lately, so why not?
So basically it's the week of Halloween when this comes out, I think, right?
I mean,
I think so.
I'll go with that. I mean, I have no idea. You're putting them out. I'm just recording them with you.
I think so. Because I think our last episode should have gone or will go out this week. Anyway, yeah. I think we're like one ahead. So nothing like being really on top of things here, huh? So do you have let's talk about holiday hosting.
Okay.
Because the last episode we kind of went hard and fast on like just holiday, I don't know,
attitudes and all of that.
Yeah. Let's talk about so let's just say our attitudes have been corrected now and we want to do the right thing. Do you have any good like tips and tricks on how to do that? Let's go through we can do Halloween, then Thanksgiving, then Christmas.
Okay. So I mean, Halloween, we typically, it's not gonna look like it this year, I don't think. But typically we kind of do like a little Halloween party. Mm-hmm. And my baby is upset with me. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
He's like, I'm tired of being in the car, Mom. But typically
we don't mind the baby sounds.
We typically host on. I mean, we host a lot, but we do host Halloween. And last year, my mom and dad also came. My in-laws have been coming like typically every year and hanging out, and then we have cousins come here and there, different cousins and stuff. Not always the same ones, but Anyways,
we've gone to your house on Halloween before.
Oh yeah, you guys have too. Mm-hmm. And so normally, we do like the big, like last year I did like I think 2 5-gallon buckets of candy to hand out, and then I like buy candy for the party too, because I mean, like, it's Halloween, you gotta have lots of candy, right?
Right.
And we do that.
Hold on. What is the best Halloween candy?
Oh, I mean,
I'll judge you. I will judge you so hard.
I know. I mean, it just, for me, it like changes. It just kind of depends on what I'm in the mood for. I mean, I always like some Snickers. I mean, chocolate, essentially chocolate is the best.
Okay. I'll accept that. I'll accept that response.
Reese's. We really enjoy Reese's too.
That's my husband's favorite.
But I'm not like, I don't want like the Reese's shaped like the bat or the pumpkins. I want like classic Reese's, like bite size. You know what I'm saying? Like the ones in the tin foil.
Oh, you like those? There's more chocolate on those.
Right? I told you it's like the chocolate for me. I love chocolate.
Yeah. There's more chocolate, less peanut butter in those. That's probably why. I love a holiday Twix bar, particularly Halloween. I don't love Twix like just throughout the year, but come Halloween, I want like a Halloween Twix bar. I don't know why, but they're better.
I don't know. It's just like part of the season, probably.
The only thing I can figure is that once again, they're smaller, so there's more chocolate.
Probably.
I don't know if that really works out mathematically, but in my brain.
In your brain,
that's how it is. In my brain, that's the only reasoning I can find.
What'd you do with it? I lost the passy. We're
no. Give him a Reese's peanut butter cup.
I know. Right.
Okay. Last load of laundry.
Yeah, no, yeah, I would have to say those are probably my favorite. It's like that time of year, like I don't always buy the candy bar, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you know, the holiday season really is that time of like, probably because after the holiday season, we're all like, oh, that was enough sweets.
It's true.
Like by the time it's all said and done and you've baked all the cookies and the pies and then the stockings and the trick-or-treating and all the things, you're like, okay.
We're good till Easter now.
Yeah, we're good for a while. But yeah, so that's what we do. I mean, I try to like, sometimes I make a punch, sometimes I just do like some sodas, depending on it.
Do you have a good punch recipe?
I just do like the sherbet with I think it's like ginger ale and Sprite. I have it written down at home, I could tell you. I was at home. But it's just like what my grandmother did, and she always like made the punch for church potluck. Potlucks for the holiday season, so it's probably just the traditional, I'm sure. Right. But the kids love it, you know, they have so much fun with that. But yeah, I'll do that or whatnot. But I think probably one of my favorite things at Halloween was the thing, I actually saw it with you, and you gave out, you had candy and stuff, but then you did sodas for the teenagers. So like if teenagers were trick-or-treating, you'd offer them soda.
Yeah, I have like a cooler of soda.
You're the only person I've ever seen do that. I've actually learned a lot of my hosting tricks from you because you have always, I felt like, hosted very intentionally.
Well, thank you.
So, and I've always just thought that was really cool. Yeah, you know, you do really well. And so I thought that was really interesting. Like a great thing to do for like the kids trick-or-treating, like the older kids. Because what teenager doesn't want a soda?
Yeah, true.
I would say another thing that you taught me for hosting that I also really like, because most of my hosting stuff is very like things my grandmother did, and like we always did gather, like our family was huge, so when we did things with her, it was like just kind of all the family. But when I met you and you were doing the Bible study, we met at a Bible study you were hosting that a mutual friend had invited me to. You always had like a few baby toys, you had a playpen and like a bouncer seat in your house. And I think you even had like a high chair that like connected like to a regular chair, like one of the small ones.
Yeah.
I remember like after I got to know you, I was like, I love how you have these, but like, what made you do that? And you were just like, well, I host a lot and it's always super easy on like new moms. It's like, you just like, you said like a playpen is easy to store for the most part because they fold up so small. But like, if I can like bring it out and put it in one of the rooms so that somebody can lay down their baby, like it's just super helpful to like the new moms. Or if I have a bouncer seat for them, like they don't have to worry about bringing all the things because there's a couple things here. It just makes their life easier. That was a really cool hosting tip I have, and I've used that since. And when my sister-in-laws came over and she had her little boy, or you know, friends with other little babies, when they came to our stuff, like it has been such a blessing I think to everybody, you know, when the new mom or the mom with the baby, the little one, is like starting to get frazzled because the baby just keeps fussing or whatever, like, it helps them, you know, you want to help, so you feel like, oh, I need to do something, but then like they're, you know, kind of going, so it just helps everybody to relax. I feel like that those were some really good hosting tips. Like,
and you can generally find those sorts of things secondhand pretty cheap on like Facebook Marketplace or Goodwill. Like bouncer seats, especially like $5 usually. Like, it doesn't have to be a thing that really invest in a brand new one or a big one or whatever.
And it was a blessing to me when I had Naomi and now Henry, like, and I've like been with you. It is always like, that was just like one less thing I had to like worry about bringing, or like, you know, if the baby falls asleep, where will I put it, or, you know, how can I keep her
just
happy?
makes you feel like they were expecting me, you know, they were expecting me to need this. So now that I need it, I don't have to feel stressed out about this. Like, I was thought it, like this was already in their head. They're not bothered by the crying baby. You know, because everyone's felt that way. Everyone's felt like, why is my kid the one who's pitching the fit, or why is my kid the one who's, you know, has to be in bed by 7 or they fall apart, or, and it's like, well, I have a playpen. You're welcome to use. You don't have to if you'd rather just hold your baby, but just know that's an option for you. I do have one.
I've had people who didn't want to use the stuff, but they liked that I had it and they thought it was nice.
Sure. Yep.
So.
Exactly.
So those are a couple. I mean, those I'm giving them out as my tips, but they were your tips.
They're collective tips. Now they're everyone's tips. I think for kids, like for Halloween, the thing is, if you can include all ages, it's really good. Like you said, the teenager stage. I've done like spice mulled wine for adults before, like just throwing it in a crock pot.
And you've even like you had a ladle and like served it when parents are trick-or-treating to the parents that were you could obviously tell that they were the parent and they're older, you know,
the ones that look over 21.
And they loved it. I remember when we did Halloween with you, and they loved that. There were so many parents who were like, I think you even had a couple that came back for a refill.
Well, especially in a cold climate, like, it is nice to have something warm in your hands, right?
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I think the year that we did it with you, it ended up like kind of like sprinkling later on, so it was just kind of colder out and stuff. But
I suppose that you could probably make like if you don't love wine, like mulled wine, you could probably do like a spiked cider as well. That would be like a take on it. That would be, you know, just as good. And spiked cider, you could do that. But just like being super intentional with that sort of thing. The goal for a Christian, at least, right, is like we want people to feel loved and welcomed and special, and like we care for you. We want you to be comfortable here. We want you to know that we're thinking about you. Halloween is a different kind of holiday too, because generally, like Thanksgiving and Christmas, you're not inviting strangers over. Some people do. It's great if you can, but most of the time, like, you're not. Halloween is different because they're coming to your door. You get all the people coming to you. So, I really do like being.
That was like I know that it's a very controversial in our realm of like holiday, but I have always felt like, especially in the type of communities that we've lived in, that this is a time like where we can really show who we are.
We can shine. Yeah, we can shine.
Like we can be like the fun, welcoming place who, you know, I mean, normally you always get like, you get a lot of people who do like the haunted houses, but they can be like way over, like obviously like you're not going to bring like your kid into it because they went to like the crazy end. You know what I'm talking about for like littles and stuff like that. But like I know like when we did it with you and we did like a little like haunted front porch. Remember little kids came in, but there was like nothing like really scary. Like a 5-year-old could have went in there, or a 3-year-old could have went in there. You know, I think probably the spookiest thing was the fact that they knew that they had to walk through the hanging
spider web.
To like get in. But then like the teenagers had soda, and there was like, you know, the mulled apple cider, and there's candy, and you're just very welcoming, and you're kind of dressed up, and it's like, hey, yes, oh yeah, we're your neighbor, and da 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 da. And I think you even had something put out. Was it you that had like the sign put out one year that was like, the only ghost haunting this house is the Holy Ghost, or something like that?
Yeah, it's funny because last year we had like a big actually this year we do too. We have a big spider web in our front yard with like a big spider on it, and it's like huge. It like spans from the porch across the front lawn. Yeah. Like it's a big spider in big spider web. And we made a little yard sign that like was basically an excerpt from Jonathan Edwards' Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God, like his famous sermon, where it talked about like us being like basically like over the web of hell, and like the only thing that keeps us from going into hell is like the grace of God. Anyway, I'm like totally not doing that sermon justice at all. But it's like you can even be creative with your decorations, right? Like if we're not saying you can't be creative, or you have to just have ghosts and skeletons, which I love. But like if that's not your speed, get creative. Do a Jonathan Edwards thing. And who at Halloween is not going to go buy a sign that talks about being suspended over hell and be like, that's inappropriate? They're just proselytizing. Like no one's gonna think that.
Well, you guys even, I think one year you guys went as like the 5 solas, which was like super creative and stuff. But and then you had
Southern Baptist.
And then you had like so many people I've seen like when you do these things like come up, and they like brings up conversation, and then you guys are talking, oh yeah, my husband's a pastor, when we go to this church, we'd love, you want to, like, we'd love to see you there and stuff. And it turns into a thing because it's just, I mean, it's good fun. Like you don't have, we're not saying like you have to go all like crazy demonic with like the scary baby dolls from the spirit store,
No, don't love that.
Yeah, no, those things are like creeping me out, and it's just really weird, and don't go there. But you can make it the fun, more Christianized version. And I know for like my in-laws and my parents, if like when they have come, they love it. They're like, we have such a great time, and you guys do such a great spin on it. We look forward to it every year, and I mean, I think it's a good thing. I think you can do lots of different things. I know, like I put, I like to put down a tablecloth especially when we do parties, because it's like super easy clean up with the kids. Like we just bind it up, take it outside, dust it off, throw it in the laundry at the end of the night. Like not even a big deal. On it or whatnot.
The Dollar Tree, like, man, I love the Dollar Tree. Was a fierce kind of love.
Yeah.
You can get such good, fun things there. It does not have to cost a lot of money. And if you're going in
like
thinking
the spider rings, my kids like love the spider rings. They're so cheap and funny, but like my daughter's like, look, Mommy, I got spiders on my fingers. I'm like, ooh, you're scary.
But a simple thing, and it's $1. So like you don't have to spend a lot of money either to really just get everyone having a good time. Dollar Tree. We've done games before where it's like you can throw donuts on a string and the kids have to eat the donuts.
I remember that? Our kids, they thought that was the funniest thing, especially when they were all falling off on their face.
I just posted a kids pumpkin carving party where the kids all got to carve a pumpkin. They had to vote for their favorite. And we had prizes for that. We had a piñata. It was like good. It's all good fun, Yep.
Good fun. And we both too, because we are obviously Reformed, we do like teach on the Reformation too. It's that time of the year, and that's something like you can even leading up to it kind of bring in, and
for your family.
And we have friends that do like just they don't want to do a Halloween party, but they do like a Reformation party, and that's fun too.
Yeah, but you should do both.
I think the kids.
You should do both.
I think the kids love dressing up, and I'm like, it's just like we don't do like crazy, like gory dress up or anything like that, but we do fun dress up and stuff.
Grant and I have recorded on this topic already on our podcast. If you haven't listened to it, you should go listen to it. We talk about basically what we believe about Halloween. And I will just, for those of you who are curious, I will tell you all to go look up James B. Jordan's blog post on Halloween. And as a Christian, after reading that, especially if you're post-mill, you will never be able to look at Halloween any differently, like than what you do after that. Like it'll be solidified in your mind how Christians ought to celebrate Halloween. So that's my best tip for you, actually. Go read James Jordan's blog post about Halloween. Anyway, have we waxed long enough about Halloween, you think, next holiday?
Yeah, I mean, I think Halloween's kind of an easy one to host because it's all just kind of there, and you can, like you said, go to the Dollar Tree, get cheap things, and I think it's mostly just like little ideas like the cider and the Cokes for the kids, or you know, for teenagers and whatnot. What about Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving is like a holiday that I think can get overlooked a little bit.
Yeah, we use Thanksgiving as our example in our last podcast.
We did. For those of you who powered through that one and still came back, kudos to you.
What'd you guys decide about your sweet potatoes? Tell us.
Oh my goodness. I think Thanksgiving is the same thing. Like, be intentional with what your goals are for the day. I think Thanksgiving is one of like the prime examples of like prep early as much as possible. Prep. Like, if you can do something a week in advance, girl, do it.
If you make your own rolls, or even if you're buying them, you better buy them early. But if you're making your own rolls, like, I mean, prep those and freeze those, and you know, so they're ready to go.
Yeah.
That's been a good one for me. There are like a couple things that we make that I can make way ahead of time. I mean, I'm not like making it 6 months ahead of time, but you know, I can make ahead of time, and I can put it in the freezer, and then it's like a crock pot thing. So I can just like we do your recipe for holiday beans. That's always one that my family loves, and you can totally make those early and freeze them, and then just put them in the crock pot.
Yeah.
So you're not like have to do it all the day before.
Yeah.
Mashed potatoes too, like making I wouldn't make those ahead, but you can make those and put them in a crock pot. That was something new that I learned.
Or if you are doing like a more non-traditional, if you like a more non-traditional thing, you can always do like a twice baked potato in advance and freeze them. That is also an option. Trying to think about pies, like a lot of your pie crust and stuff, freeze ahead. Pie crust freezes beautifully. Actually, here's like a getting ahead thing. Ready? This is like an inception. I start making my Christmas cookies right around Thanksgiving, and I will make big old batches, and I freeze. Every time I make a new kind of cookie, I will freeze like a portion of them, so that
I think we talked about this last year. Last year, I think it was like we talked about like you double the batch and then like freeze half of it, so then you already have it pre-made.
I will freeze not only like the cookie dough, but sometimes I even freeze like the pre-made cookie, like the actual cookie. Just like wrap them really well, and then you know, like that holiday party that you're going to go to that you have like no time to prep for, pull out a tray of cookies, and you can take like 3 of each kind and make a really cute little cookie tray or whatever, right? Easy. So I start making cookies right around Thanksgiving, and then like every week I'll make a new batch or two, and then I just pull half a dozen out when I want to make a cookie tray, and you've got like 12 different kinds by Christmas.
Yep. So we said what, like you can pre-make the pie crust and freeze it. You do the cookie dough. There's some sides that you can do. Obviously, you can't do everything, but it just does help to prep those type of things. So you're not like in the rush to do it, especially on like Thanksgiving. So you host Thanksgiving. My mom my mom hosts my Thanksgiving. So because we live near her now, I will just volunteer to go down the night before, typically, if we're capable, and be like, hey, I can come down the night before, and I can get up early in the morning and like help you do whatever you want me to do.
Guys, can you come take the dog out, please?
And then I just ask her, like, is there anything in particular, obviously, that you want me to bring? Like,
right.
If there is something she wants me to make. Most of the time, she doesn't want me to make anything ahead of time. She just wants me to like just show up and help her with her stuff.
Right.
Which is super helpful for her. But I think like if you can even do, like if you're not the one hosting, but you can, if your mom is or something, and you are capable of like being like, hey, I could just show up early and even help you. Like I just think that's always a nice offer to the person who is hosting if you're not the one hosting.
Yeah, totally.
Because I mean, typically I know like for a lot of people, it's everybody's getting, there's always like something that gets forgotten, right? And then it's like, oh no, I gotta do this. So to have like an extra set of hands, it's just a blessing. I am almost home, you guys, and then this baby will be happy.
He is really not happy.
He is not very happy with me.
He's like, you want a good Thanksgiving? Make me a happy baby.
Right? I'm trying to give him his little toy.
It's fine.
I don't care about,
don't know how it is.
I don't care. He's like, I don't care about these toys anymore, Mom. Just get me out of this stinking car.
Right. I'm trying to think, that's just like getting ahead. I think just realizing
I got a question. I got a question for you.
Okay.
For Thanksgiving, when you're hosting, you got all the people coming over. Are you a real dinnerware or paper?
I'm always a real dinnerware kind of girl.
Yeah.
Always. I am like cloth napkins. I want a water glass and a wine goblet. Like this is your time to shine, right? Like this is the time. This is like your feast to end all feast. So like go all out. That's my motto. I actually was gifted after my dad passed. I was gifted all of his cast irons, and I was gifted real silverware, like out of silver. And so I generally
cast iron silverware.
I know that'd be weird. It is kind of a weird combination if you think about it, but that is what I was gifted. So I have real silverware, and that's what comes out usually Thanksgiving and Christmas when I bring out like the real silver. So all that to say, yes, I am like, I want the feast to be like, I'm here for the real. I do not judge people who don't want the real. I understand that if you have like, 70 people in your house for a holiday, that would be maybe a little bit unrealistic, but I love it. To me, it's like worth the fuss,
Oh yeah, no, I'm with you. I like the real. My husband's like, just do paper, nobody cares. I'm like, no, let's do the real when it's us.
Yeah. So I have sets of dishes. If anyone knows me, you guys know how much I love dishes. And I host Sabbath regularly, and I host some pretty large Sabbaths. So like when I say sets of dishes, I don't have like a set for like 8 or 10 or 12. I have a set for like 25 or 32 generally.
Thank you.
And so I have these sets of dishes. I have 2 daughters that I'm like I use for holidays, and I use Sabbath dinners. And it's my goal to collect like these big ginormous sets so that when my daughters get married, I can gift them each a set of dishes, holiday dishes and like Sabbath dishes, so that they will have a nice big set of dishes that they have memories of actually using. And it's like China, sorry, I'm cleaning my sourdough, trying to clean my jar. I want them to have like memories attached to these dishes. And if one breaks, it's not a big deal. If I end up getting them a set that has an odd number, like it's not going to be the end of the world. But
it's just something you're more intentional about, like trying to find and things like that, because it will be a fun thing for them. No, I think that's a really creative and neat idea. I haven't done anything like that, but I do have several sets of dishes, and I've actually got my dishes at the Dollar Tree.
Beautiful.
And so like I know, yeah, I'm like a really weird person. I really enjoy the color gray.
No, I have dishes from the Dollar Tree too, y'all. I'm not a snob or
But like I
purist.
have like
Sondra.
a gray set. No, yeah, no. And then I have like a green set. They're just like green plates, and they're more spring, and you can actually find some cute stuff there if you just keep an eye out. And then I buy like a bunch of them because the thing is like they're gonna get broken.
Yep.
But like if you buy 20 plates and they're $1, then you only spent $20 on those plates. And
Right.
if they're, you can mix match too, which is really nice with them, because especially if they're like a solid color. Or I got some really cute like dessert plates that had lemons on them that went really cute too, with some spring colors. But you know, and even for like us, for like if we move and I have to like get rid of a set, it's not like I spent 60, 70, you know, $100 on this set of plates that now like, you know, I need to get rid of because we're moving and we just have a bunch of stuff.
Well, and most of my charts
I
are from the Dollar Tree, actually.
Oh yeah, no, I think all of mine are, to be honest with you.
I think I got some metal ones from Walmart on clearance, but
yeah. But yeah, I mean, then it's just, I mean, they're too easy to, if a kid drops a plate, I mean, yeah, you got to clean up glass, and that can always kind of stink. But I mean, outside of that, it's like, you know, I mean, I've had kids like start crying because they dropped a plate and like broke it, and I'm like, it's okay.
It was
like,
$1.
This is not a big deal. It was it was $1.
Right. Well, and that is actually just. Are you there? Hello. 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 Yeah, we might have lost Sondra. She might have dropped her phone. Oh, there she is. Okay. We lost you for a second there.
Oh, well, I just walked to the door. My daughter was like, hey, mommy. But yeah, I mean, it's just too easy to replace those. And so I think, you know, you don't always have to buy the, you know, $60 set of, you can do something, you know, easy. If you get solid colors, super easy to change them out.
Yep. Goodwills, girl, you can like usually go into any Goodwill or Savers or whatever like your local thrift is and find dishes, and maybe you only have a set of like 4. Like you said, you can usually find sets of 4 or 3 or 2 that have like similar patterns or themes or whatever, and you can mix and match them. And I think it's really fun to do a mix and match table. Actually, it adds like texture and like layers, and I think it's great fun.
Depending on how many people you have coming to your gathering, I mean, sometimes it's just super hard to have enough dishes that are all exactly the same.
And I'm like, you're further into your marriage than I am. I'm almost 14 years in, but I'm just now at the place where I have sets of 22 and 32, and I have been collecting for this long. And so that is part of like why I'm doing that for my daughters, because I want them to have a jump start, because it does take a while if you're collecting something more expensive or whatever, because you can't just go out and buy 32 place settings typically when you're newlywed. That's much harder. But you can go thrifting and you can find really cool patterns that you can mix together, you know, florals and plaids or whatever. Anyway, that's my tip. So also Dollar Tree for glassware, or sometimes like Ross or TJ Maxx, you can get really good deals on glassware, like wine goblets and stuff like that, or thrifting.
I think I've got all my wine glasses. I think I've got from Goodwill. I was able just to like find matching sets at random Goodwills that are more like classic looking. But you know, people were getting rid of for whatever reason. I mean, it could have been that people, you know, died or something. I don't know. But they're really cute.
You're drinking out of death glasses. This is Thanksgiving, not Halloween.
I don't think that they died because of the glasses. So I mean, I think we're okay.
No, that's a good tip. Also, another good tip: if you love a good napkin ring, you might know that napkin rings can be very expensive as well. So, one of my little tipperoos is that you can buy shower rings, like for a shower curtain. You can usually get 12 of them for like $6 or $8, just like a ring, you know, that you put your shower curtain on.
Yeah.
Or like the rings that you could clip curtains on, like regular curtains. You can pull the little clippy part off, and you have what equates to a napkin ring. And you've got 8 or 12 for $8 versus 4 for like, $20 or whatever they usually are in stores.
I think that you even one time found a cheap shower curtain that was cloth,
Mm-hmm.
and used and cut it to fit your table, didn't you? And then sewed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tablecloth out of it. I thought that was pretty creative too, because I mean, sometimes you can find a good priced shower curtain versus buying a bunch of fabric to make a tablecloth.
Yeah. And no one's gonna know the difference.
Nope, not unless you tell them.
Listen, spray paint is your friend. You can spray paint curtain rods. You can use shower curtains as tablecloths. There's so many tips and tricks, y'all.
I mean, there are so many.
You gotta
things.
be willing to do the work. That's the thing. Is like if you want beauty, it's gonna take work. And God made women to work. That was like a thing that we've been created to do. We've been created to work. And so a lot of times I feel like, go ahead.
You don't have to spend $1 million to do all the things either. You don't have to spend $1 million to make your table look beautiful.
No, but you should want to make the table beautiful.
I mean,
that's the thing that we believe, right?
Yeah.
You believe that you should want to do that. And so it can be really overwhelming, especially if you are a newlywed or you've never done it before, your theology has changed, and here you are hosting Thanksgiving dinner, and that prospect seems super overwhelming. Don't let it. Just look at it as a good work the Lord has for you to walk in, and enjoy the process. Take a deep breath. Be creative, be crafty. If you're like the kind of person who's like, yo, I am not creative and I am not crafty, I am not either. Like, I think people think that I am more than what I actually am. I am not. I do not enjoy crafting. It's not a thing, but I enjoy a beautiful table, and I enjoy having my family sit down to something beautiful.
Well, and you enjoy making your house a home.
Yep.
You enjoy making your home beautiful and enjoyable to be in, which is all the difference. I mean, when it really does make all the difference. When it's something you care about, you'll put the extra work into it.
Yep. You don't have to be a project person to be like, I'm gonna spray paint these like curtain holder thingies to make them look like really cool napkin rings, so that like it blesses my family on Thanksgiving.
Yep.
You don't have to be a project person. You just gotta want it and do it. So.
Yep. And not. Yep.
Next one, Christmas.
Oh.
How do you feel about Christmas?
Christmas is my favorite.
Is it?
Yes, it is, because I love fall. I am down for fall for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love the colors and honestly, like I even like the sense of fall, like the smell. There's just like more fall smells.
They're the best. Mm-hmm.
And they're by far the best, and they make me so happy.
I stock up on my fall like wax scents in the fall. Like I buy all of them because they're hard to find throughout the year. I don't enjoy spring, summer scents nearly as much.
No, I think they're almost too perfumey. So they kind of bother me. But I love, like I said, I love those things of fall. The leaves changing colors, the crisp air, the smells, pumpkin pies, and it's like the beginning of the holidays too. So it's just like the anticipation is coming, right?
It's a kickoff.
Yeah. I get to start doing and preparing all the fun things for my family. And I enjoy the Reformation parties, the Halloween parties. I enjoy Thanksgiving on a whole another level now, because I just feel like I've matured over the years. Like before, back in the day, it was Thanksgiving, it was Pilgrim Day, not so much now, right? Like it's just kind of changed. But
you have a deeper sense of gratitude for the Lord.
Yeah, exactly. But I love the colors of Christmas. I love the bright lights and the cheeriness and like the anticipation of knowing like the Lord, like here the Lord has come, and I love the Advent and all of those things. I love it.
Yeah.
It makes me so happy. Makes me so happy. So
When
like,
I think
here
of
we are.
Christmas, I instantly think of smells. So it's funny that you brought that up because I instantly like my mind goes to smells, and they always revolve around food.
Oh, yeah.
And
Well, it's kind of the big party too, right? Like it's kind of like Halloween is almost like the kickoff, right? Like, oh, here we are, a little fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it builds, and it's like, oh, it's Thanksgiving. This is exciting, and now like thanks, like giving the thanks, and it's like Christmas is like the I don't want to say like the feast, but it is like out of the holidays, like
it's the big one.
It is the feast.
Yeah, it's the big one.
Right?
It's the smells that come out of the kitchen. It's like everything culminates in the kitchen basically on Christmas, right? Like everything, all the food, all the fun, all of, like most of the traditions, like it pretty much all ties back to the like kitchen in one way, shape, or form. Obviously, like sure. Yeah, we go to church and it's about Jesus, but like in a very like physical way, it's the kitchen. Kitchen's a big deal.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of a fun thing to think about, like, I don't know, hosting tips for Christmas, because there's just, I think being prepared. Okay, here's one. I have a tip for Christmas. If you are, maybe you're not one. If you are a Christmas card kind of person,
start early.
I am a Christmas card kind of person. Yeah, start early. You can usually always find like coupon codes for like if you order through Shutterfly or like a sister company, but also always have a couple extra Christmas cards. Just like buy a couple extra, because there will always be a neighbor who drops something off. And this is my tip. When you're making your cookie trays, right? Have a cookie tray in your freezer. Like get cute little plates from the Dollar Tree, throw together some cookies on that cute little cookie, wrap it really, really good so it doesn't get freezer burnt. And then you have your Christmas card, right? So that when someone drops something off at your house, you can go in your freezer and grab your cookie tray, throw a Christmas card on top, and boom, done. It looks so intentional, and it literally took you 0 time.
Right, because you already had it ready.
You already had it ready. You're already doing all the things. So that's a huge one for me. I always have a couple extra Christmas cards. I always have a couple extra cookie trays in my freezer. And you know what? Actually, I just thought about this. I'll bet you could probably even go to like the Dollar Tree and get like cookie tins. And do cookie
tins. Yeah, no, I've gotten little cookie tins from there. They're not like always as big as like the ones you might get from Walmart. But I mean, it's like if you're just giving out a little something, it's good.
Yeah, most of my neighbors are like elderly. So if I had like small, I'll try that this year. I think I might try that this year. Just get some cookie tins and like throw in like a half a dozen cookies or something like that,
Yeah.
With some cute tissue paper, and then throw that whole tin into a Ziploc, like a freezer safe Ziploc. So like the whole thing is still good to go. That's going to be my thing for this. I'm going to try it out and I'll let you guys all know if it works.
I would say like also learn from, you've already been through Halloween, you've already been through Thanksgiving. And like if you hosted those and things were missed, if you noticed like the sister-in-law with the baby was having a hard time, and you can just pick up a few baby toys at a thrift shop or something and clean them up, like learn from it if you think it'll make them a little bit easier for you,
True.
Like just take note of your previous holidays that you've already went through, and how can I love these people?
Yeah. I think there's even like, you could buy a couple extra gifts too to have put back in case you like are randomly given a gift. You could buy like a candle or a nice pair of gloves or something like that. If you live in a
my mom always does that. She always has a couple. She always has like an extra like kid gift, a couple, like maybe 1 or 2 kid gifts, a couple things for an adult, whether it's like candles or lotion, because most people like candle lotion. Or something,
tea, gloves, something like that, a mug, cute mug and tea.
Exactly, because she's like, there is always going to be someone that you find that had nowhere to go at Christmas or even at Thanksgiving, and who needs a place to go. and then they're not going to give you notice until the last minute because either something fell through or they were embarrassed
Right.
or whatever. And they'll be like, is it still okay for me to come? And you'll be like, yeah. And now you have something for them.
And if you want to know like what a good kid gift is, like if the kid is between like 5 and 10, I'd say go get like a Lego set, because boys and girls love Legos.
Yep.
You know, it doesn't need to even be like a huge expensive one, but like, I mean,
no, like
Legos?
just one of those ones where they put like together like a small car, you know, like the generic Lego car or whatever, you know, like the Lego City, I think is like the brand or whatnot, where it's like, but yeah, something like that. Or, you know, even like my mom's even done like a board game, like the cheaper version of the board games, and had those, because like even like she'll be like, even a 5-year-old can play like the game Trouble.
It's true.
She's like,
so
and
the
you
thing
can
that
get,
I
like,
always give kids, and this
cheaper
Sondra
versions
should
of it.
know, because I always gave your kids this when I'm around them.
I
for
know,
Christmas.
and they still talk about like, this is still like the favorite gift. And even now, like they're like, if we do Christmas with Tonti and Uncle G, like this is,
they know what they're gonna get.
Oh yeah, they pray for it. They pray for it.
This is the
It's
thing
like
I always
the
give
funniest thing.
And once again, they could be 5 or they could be like 17, and they're gonna love it. Doesn't matter what it is. I always wrap 12 packs of soda. And it sounds so silly, but like for a kid to get like their own 12 pack of Mountain Dew or like Dr. Pepper or whatever it is they don't usually get, but now they have their own 12 pack.
Listen to me, people. Like, I love
so
Ericha. She's my best friend in the whole wide world, but she will give your kid the drink that you don't allow. It'll be like, oh, you don't let the kids have Mountain Dew because it's so full of sugar. You guess what they're getting for Christmas? And I mean, that's what
the anti-right.
Yes, that's what the aunt is supposed to do. The fun aunt, I mean, is supposed to give the kid the Mountain Dew, you know, and they love it. And then what's even better is like when you did it with Blaine, like he shared it. I did not think he was going to share it, because I thought he was like going to drink one a week. Like, I am going to treasure this because
savor
it. Yeah, but no, he was just like, yeah, here, everybody can have one, and it was like, it just made my heart so happy. I was like, that's just the sweetest thing, because I knew how excited he was with it. You know, sometimes kids can be like, no, it's mine. I really wanted this. And I had prepared my heart to deal with that. And instead, my son was like, no, I want everybody to like enjoy like what I'm getting to enjoy, because this is so exciting. Anyways.
Yeah, it's one of those simple things that like you wouldn't necessarily think of to give as a Christmas gift. But like I had never given it to a child and the child was not elated. Like any child. They always
I have to say his other aunt, she asked him for his birthday last year, where he turned 16, what do you want for your birthday? And you know what he said?
Yeah, you can take Dixie out. What did he say?
He was like, Mountain Dew and beef jerky.
There you go, guys.
And she was like, is that really what he wants? And I'm like, yeah. I mean, he's like, and then when we left, like, because we were like visiting with him, we left, he's like, do you remember when Tonti got me the Mountain Dew? That was the coolest ever. So it's funny that you brought that up, because like that is his, like, it still gets brought up to this day.
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny. All right, other Christmas tips. I'm trying to think of just like, what is a big struggle on like generally on Christmas? It's just like people being late or feeling rushed.
So one thing I do when we go to everybody's house, like, well, we split Christmas Eve between the parents. But honestly, we don't really, because they kind of do it together too. So, but we typically go like in the morning to my mother-in-law's house. We kind of have like a little breakfast thing. And then we go in the evening to my mom's house, and then my in-laws actually, they come there as well. And then like everybody gets together. It's like both sides of the family or whatnot. For me, both sides of my family, I should say. Anyways, then Christmas Day comes and we wake up. I always get my kids a set of jammies for Christmas. I always try to make them Christmas jammies, because they're just fun, you guys. They're fun.
Yep.
Holiday jammies are fun. So I try to do Christmas themed for them, to get them Christmas jammies. And then they always want to put on their jammies. And that's what they want to wear. It's like their new jammies for Christmas. And like, we're not going anywhere. So I honestly don't care, you know? So I just tell them like, yeah, you can wear your Christmas jammies. So my thing that we do, and we have family that love this, is I just tell them like, whoever's coming, you can get dressed if you want, but also if you just want to come in your jammies, it's fine because my kids are going to be in their jammies. And it's going to be like laid back. And they actually on Christmas Day, like I have some things that are made and I do a dinner.
Okay.
But
Yeah, you may.
I have different things for them to snack on. And I just tell people, you can come whenever you want to. If you want to come in the morning, like I do kind of set a time, like after 10 or whatnot, because like we're going to open up our gifts and stuff. But like, if you want to come at 10, like, and you can only stay an hour and that's what you want to do, that's fine. We want to have you. So come at 10.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know, if you can't come until dinner time, then that's fine too. Right. So we make it very laid back like that. So we'll have people in and out of the house all day, pretty much Christmas, and they kind of come. And the only thing I ask is if you need to stay in the night that night, you just let me know ahead of time so I can, you know, obviously have a bed ready for you. Because I will prepare that. I will prepare that earlier in the week, so that it's not like something I have to worry about at the last minute. Christmas Eve. Yeah. Yeah. So because Christmas Eve we're already splitting the day, so I don't want to have to come home after doing all the things and like, you know, get everything ready. I prefer to get it ready earlier on for my guests. So but yeah, so that would kind of be a tip, and because everybody loves it, and we do have people that show up in their jammies. They will have also gotten jammies for their kids and stuff, or they will have gotten like the whole family,
right?
And they'll all wear their Christmas jammies over, and it's so fun. It is fun. And you know, they can stay for dinner. They stay for dinner. If they don't, they don't.
Right.
No pressure.
Ours is like we buy Christmas jammies, and that's like the gift that they can open on Christmas Eve. So then we all go to bed wearing our matching Christmas jammies, because of course mine have to match. But I want to say I have been doing this for 14 years. Okay.
You have done it forever.
All these people who are like jumping on like the Christmas matching jammy bandwagon, like I understand it's fun, and I'm happy you're here now. But I was a pioneer. That's all I want to say. I feel very like strongly about this. But I think that one of the biggest tips is to buy extra Ziploc bags, and the big ones.
Oh yeah, because you'll definitely need those to throw everything in and throw it in your refrigerator or freezer.
Yep. Make sure that you do have space in your fridge and or freezer. If you can make space the week before, start like using stuff out of your freezer, because you're gonna want space. So like kind of get ahead on that. Also, think about other meals besides just your big Christmas dinner. Like, what are you going to eat like Christmas Eve dinner? What are you going to eat the day like Boxing Day? Are you going to have enough leftovers? And if you have enough leftovers, are you going to have enough rolls to go with your, like, think ahead. Think about what are you going to have for Christmas morning? What are you going to have for Christmas lunch? Are you just going to do
the day after? If you have people staying with you, like if you're going to have people staying the night with you on Christmas or whatnot, like what are you going to feed them in the morning? Because you will have already planned Christmas Eve, you will have planned Christmas Day, but you always forget Christmas the next day. You're like, oh wait, now Christmas is over and I still have people at the house. What
do I make for them now?
Yeah. And there are some, I mean, there are some breakfast casseroles and things like that are like pretty easy to throw together, and even some like,
yeah, you've got a really good one actually.
Yeah, I really do like the we do a goodness, I can't, my French toast casserole.
Pioneer woman.
Yeah.
French toast casserole.
Yeah, casserole, that we really like to do. But there are some that are like leftover from like your ham or your turkey that you can make recipes out there. Now I haven't tried a lot of them, but for when I have a large group of people over the next day, because I normally just do the French toast casserole because everybody loves that, especially the kids. And it feeds a bunch of people and it's pretty filling. So I like that. But I have I know there are some out there that are doing that. So even if you did have a lot of leftovers, like you might want to think about that. Like even just having a couple of those to throw together that are, easy.
And if you want something to like go alongside of like a French toast casserole, you could always just pick up like a quart of yogurt, get some fresh fruit, chop it all up, toss it in some yogurt, and then like have little parfaits or something. Like you could do something totally simple like that on the side.
I if I do like a fruit tray and vegetable tray, I will buy extra for our Christmas day, and then the next morning I will do that. I'll do like have like yogurt, and I'll have like the fruit, and then I will go ahead and like have extra platters made of fruit and veggies for the next morning, because a lot of times if people have like driven from out of town or whatnot, they're getting all their stuff together, and then their kids are going to get hungry.
Exactly.
You know, why everybody's going. So, you know, they don't ever get out of there at like 7 a.m. It's going to be around noon. So like if you can have, extra Hawaiian rolls with lunch meat, you can like put cheese on them and the ham, and then like toast them and pull them out, like make little slider sandwiches. Everybody loves those. I mean, that's really easy, and it looks like you put a bunch of thought into it, and it's actually just super simple.
Yep.
And so I'll pre-make those and put them back into the Hawaiian roll bag.
So what about like if you have what if you have people with like food sensitivities, like peanut allergies or gluten intolerances, things like that? Do you have any like go-to recipes besides just like mashed potatoes and ham or something like very obvious?
There are some really good sweet potato recipes that don't have like the marshmallows on top, but they have like some walnuts and stuff. Anyways, my mother-in-law makes this one, and it's incredible, and I've got the recipe from her, but I can't remember what it's called.
So if you want the recipe, contact Sondra Rowlett.
Yeah, just let me know.
Find her on Facebook.
Right. And then we've also done like goodness, it's almost like a coleslaw because it has a cabbage, but it's like this cabbage salad. It's really good too. There's a couple recipes that we do. And then, I mean, like if you're doing like a turkey and a ham, like, I mean, obviously those are gluten-free and, all that. Unless you're just like being really putting something in there that's just different. I was going to say weird. That might not be very nice.
I think you can generally make like an apple crisp gluten-free pretty easily, and that's very seasonal for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
I have some pie crust recipes that are really simple that taste. I mean, they literally taste just like. They taste like a regular pie crust. It's, nothing crazy. I mean, you're just probably not going to have, the
cookies or whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, would you go upstairs and grab me
you can still do gluten-free cookies and cakes and brownies.
That's a skill level that I don't quite have. So if anyone else has good recipes,
let me just tell you, I don't know if Sam's Club has it. They probably do, because I think they're very comparable to Costco. But Costco has a gluten-free brownie mix that is
that's true.
Super good. It is super good. Like my mom.
I always think from scratch. I never think to go get a mix. But honestly, who would know the difference?
Yeah, unless you tell them and stuff. And honestly, so my mom had gotten that, and then we just like spruced it up. So you enjoy. It makes a gluten-free chocolate chips, and like we added a little bit of extra put a little extra cocoa powder in it. I mean, just to kind of give it a little bit darker chocolate taste. And I mean, everybody was like, "These are so good." And we're like, "Yeah, no problem."
That's awesome.
Unless somebody said, "What's the recipe?" We just were like, "Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it."
That's true. You've heard it here. That's how you respond to people, guys.
If they ask you for the recipe, you just got to kind of tell them, it's from the box.
You got to confess. Yeah. No, that's a good tip, actually.
Costco, I know my mom has a Costco membership. Costco is like 2 hours from us, so we don't have one. And Sam's Club has some things, but Costco has a lot of paleo and gluten-free alternatives on different things. That it's just cheaper to buy there than going to somewhere like Whole Foods and it's like the same brand. So if you're looking into that, or you're just on that, or you found out you just had an allergy, that there's a little tip for you too, especially for the holiday season. But honestly, you can go online and find so many good recipes now that I mean, you're just at Halloween. You can go find the pie. Like if you have somebody, you want to make like a gluten-free pie crust for them, go find, you have time now.
Yeah, go do some dry runs.
Yeah, go find a couple recipes that seem a little bit more simple, easy, that you are willing to do, because some of those recipes call for a million different flours and all of that kind of stuff. And there are some that are much easier, that are much better. So choose one that you're willing to make. Don't choose the one that you're gonna be like, oh, I just dread making that because it takes 10,000 things,
extra gums. Yeah.
And I don't have this allergy, and I'm just doing it for them. And now you've got the bad attitude of, you have to do the thing for somebody else that's taking forever. Find the one that you're willing to do, because chances are, especially in today's world, if you don't know somebody now that has an allergy to something, you're going to eventually.
Yeah, that's true. Just think of it as like a new culinary challenge for yourself. It's really fun to try and learn how to make something new. So just consider it like that. Consider it like, oh, this is gonna be really fun.
Yeah, and I mean, if there's nobody in your family, I mean, like I said, you're gonna make a friend, and chances are you're gonna want to invite them to dinner, and they're not gonna want to come eat your dinner if it's gonna give them diarrhea because they're allergic to it. I'm just saying.
That's true. Okay, so my last little tip before we can wrap this thing up here. Inevitably, every Christmas, honestly, any holiday, Halloween, Thanksgiving, this is probably applicable to all holidays, okay? Someone's gonna like text you or call you like 30 minutes before you're supposed to host, and they're gonna say, oh, hey, what can I bring? I'm leaving out. Can I pick anything up? Here's what I have a list compiled of things that you can tell people to bring. Okay.
Don't tell them not to bring anything.
No, tell them to bring something. Let them bring something if they want to. Like, unless this couple is like, destitute and poor, let them bring something.
Most of the time, especially if they're new and they, new to your thing or whatnot, like it makes people feel like they're adding to it, that they've done something helpful. And if you say nothing, don't bring anything, then they feel awkward. They want to contribute.
Well, especially for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah.
Like if it's your sister-in-law or something, maybe she has a recipe that her mom made every Thanksgiving or Christmas. And if you say, bring whatever like thing that you have during Thanksgiving that you just cannot live without. If you have a side dish or a dessert that you just think is the best, bring that. That way they feel like they actually can contribute without stepping on your toes, like we talked about last episode, girl. Go ahead. Okay, so we had written a whole, I don't even know what you call it at this point. We had written a whole cookbook kind of thing.
Well, it was like a family devotion, leading up to Easter with I think we called it 30 days of feasting or something like that. Where we had a bunch of recipes.
It was a blog series.
Yeah.
It was several years ago. So we have a lot of really good recipes from that. But we also had a tips and suggestions thing. And I'm just going to read you what we wrote, okay? To end this thing out. It says, help the host. You've invited your friends over for dinner. Hooray. You've purchased your groceries. You've been working in the kitchen all morning. And suddenly you get a text from one of your guests. The text harkens back to that age-old question, what can I bring? Don't fret. You don't need to replan your entire menu. We've got you covered. Below you will find a list of items that make great guest contributions. Simply pick one that would complement your menu. Oftentimes, guests may feel more at ease by being able to contribute. So here are the suggestions. A relish and cheese tray, assorted beverages, so for adults and kids, so alcohol and not alcoholic, a fruit salad or fruit tray, a raw veggie tray, chips and crackers. You could also probably add on there like a summer sausage or something. A side salad or dressing, paper products, cups, plates, what have you. An appetizer. That is actually one that I think gets often overlooked on holidays, like appetizers. Games or entertainment, chocolates, nuts, bread or biscuits, Ziploc bags or to-go bags so you can send them home with stuff, and their Bible so they can help with scripture readings.
Yeah. I do think that that is one thing that gets overlooked a lot. I didn't even think about it till you just said it, but the games, board games.
Hmm.
I can't tell you the number of times that I've hosted and forgot to get the board games out.
Hmm.
I'm like, oh, now I've got people here and I need to go get those games because the kids are gonna want to play games. And normally us adults sit around and play games and laugh too. Um, but or I've been somewhere else and like my sister-in-law has forgot to get the games or my mother-in-law has or like and they say the same, they're like, oh, can you help me? So yeah, I think that one for sure is a good one, like telling them to bring a game. And normally people always have like a cool game that you don't know about.
Yeah, or one they just got for Christmas, right? Like if
Yeah.
you're doing this Christmas Eve, there's so many. I mean, I give my kids a new game every Christmas. That's like a tradition that I generally do. And so it's like fun. We get to play the new games.
Yeah, and like you guys were just here and visited us, and we had just been introduced to a new game that we ended up buying, and then we introduced you to it, and I think you were either looking for it or you just bought it.
Hmm.
Too, that was like a lot of fun.
What is it called?
Oh,
Happy Salmon.
Yeah, Happy Salmon. Happy Salmon. It's fun. The kids love it.
There's another tip if you're looking for one, guys.
It's a little bit of a rowdy game, but it is so much fun.
Yeah,
and I would have
good
never
for all ages.
Yeah, I would have never picked it out myself. I would have been like, oh yeah, no. But then,
I mean,
like,
your daughter's 7, and she played it very easily, right?
Yeah, and Naomi, I think Naomi's played with us, and she's 5.
Oh, she's
anyway,
5. Just kidding.
Oh, I thought you were talking.
No, she'll be 6. She'll be 6 this year, right?
Yeah, she'll be 6 this year.
Okay, so I wasn't that far off.
Yeah, and anyways, but those are great things too, because even like as the night wears down and Christmas presents or have been done, or guys are watching maybe a football game after Thanksgiving or whatever, to get the card games out or get the board game out where you all sit around and like have coffee, have some dessert, play the games. Like that's just what memories are made of. I'm just saying.
True. Yep. That's actually, we didn't talk about New Year's Eve, but New Year's Eve, we could do that real quick here. This episode's going to be long, so let's just try in like 5 minutes, quickly touch on it. Basically, all these tips probably apply to New Year's Eve. I don't do much different. My family tradition on New Year's Eve is that we play board games until midnight, and then we watch the ball drop, and that's like, we invite people over. We play all our new games. We play charades or cards or whatever it is. That's just sort of what we do.
We do the same thing.
So
I do go to the Dollar Tree, and they will have like little bottles of like apples, like the sparkling ciders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they have the miniature ones, and I will try to get one for each kid that's going to be at my house, because they just think it's really cool that they got their own bottle.
Yeah,
they got their own bottle they get to open up and drink. And it's just fun.
Yeah,
I mean, for $1.
Always buy extra too if you're buying the big bottles, because you can never have enough of that stuff on.
No, everybody loves it. I start buying it as soon as it comes out. That way I can just have like a little stockpile of it.
And the Dollar Tree has cute little like New Year's Eve decorations and stuff like that too.
That would be a big thing. Overall, just decorate for all your holidays. It's fun. It's
just festive. Go extra. If you think it's like ridiculous, you're probably just blessing your children. It probably is a little bit ridiculous, but you're making memories, and this is like something they're gonna have forever.
All my family thinks we're crazy because we go all out, and like after Halloween, my Christmas tree will go up. And I have I have a 9-foot Christmas tree that we have to bend the top of to put up in our house because it is too big for the house. But you know what? As much as they all talk about Sondra's ridiculous Christmas tree and decorations and all the things that we do, even in the house, like we put spider webs up in the house for Halloween, and all of the things, the 5,000 pumpkins through my house. You know whose house everybody loves to go to?
Exactly.
And they just think it's so much fun. Is our house.
Fun. Yeah,
it's fun, and it's memories, and my kids will forever remember all the things, and they get so excited because I let them decorate too. I'm like, here you go.
Right.
Go put the decorations all over the house. Let's celebrate. And I would say do the same thing for New Year's.
So let's wrap it up with something spiritual here, okay? This is the thing, is that we're Christians, and we should understand gratitude, generosity, hospitality, love. Yeah, like we should understand it better than anyone else. So when it comes time to celebrate the holidays, let's like, let's be the example. Let's demonstrate it better than anyone else. This is not to be competitive or weird, but simply to be like, how can you best glorify God? How can you best reflect his personhood? So because God is generous, how can you be generous? You know, if God is fun, because God's fun. Being a Christian is actually a lot of fun. When we celebrate Sabbath every single week, it is fun. It's joy, right? So like, let's have fun.
If you know the Christian who like doesn't like to decorate for Christmas, I'm just gonna use Christmas because it's kind of like everybody assumes Christians celebrate Christmas, right? But if you know a Christian who doesn't decorate for Christmas, or who is just like not really into giving, right? Like it's not their thing. They just don't enjoy it that much. It's just so stressful for them to like, you know, pick out presents for somebody or
everything just seems so tedious.
Yeah, it's just too stressful. Like how is that showing like the fruits of the Spirit? How is that showing, you know, the gratefulness or the, you know, they don't look forward to, you know, hosting Thanksgiving and being like having, you know, like leading in the giving the thanks to the Lord and loving on their families. Like it's just not showing. And I think that sometimes like we need to look at these holidays through that lens. Like it doesn't need to be competitive. I mean, you don't have to go and like keep it up with the Joneses and your neighbors have 5 things in their yard, so you need 6 things. But we should look at
the pagans outdo us.
Yeah, you're right. But we don't want the pagans to outdo us. We want them to look at us and be like, wow, they do, like, even if, you know, they do have the most fun on the holidays, whether they have 5,000 things in their yard or not. Like they love the holidays and they are giving thanks unto the Lord and praising the Lord and wanting to bless others so much because they have been blessed so much.
Exactly.
Whatever that may look like.
All of this is not because of some weird expectation, or because we think God will be angry with you if you don't, or because whatever. Like all of this is meant to point up towards something greater than ourselves, right? It's all meant to be like a neon light, like pointing towards, like, look at the Father, look at Christ, look at what the Spirit has gifted us with. Like that's what it's all meant for. So let's do it.
I'm excited to host. I'm excited to celebrate these because God blessed us. Because God did the things. So if you're a newlywed or whatever and you're poor and you can't afford all the things, that's why we say, like, you can do it on the down low. You can do it cheap. You can go get the things at the Dollar Tree or the Aldi's or whatever and just do it to the best of your ability. What you can do. And that way, when people look at you, when they come to your home to be hosted, they're like, I mean, look at what they've done.
Right.
They made use of the blessings that the Lord already gave them, and they want to bless us as well.
Yeah, whether it's great or whether it's few, whether you have all the resources or few, whatever you have, be open-handed, be generous, have fun, be filled with the Spirit, and just enjoy it. And this is all meant to be enjoyed, not burdensome. If at any point something feels like a burden to you, check your heart, right? Because you're probably being ungrateful.
Well, check your heart. Like maybe you're being ungrateful, or maybe you're not having the right perspective on what you're doing. You know, like maybe you're not being thankful into what the Lord has given you, and if you're looking at it as like, oh, this is just an incredible burden, and now I feel guilty and have to do these things because they did this episode and it made me feel guilty, and now I feel like I have to. Like that's not the reason you do it.
No,
you're already you're already going at it the wrong way. But anyways, host it, have fun, celebrate.
Hey Eddie, we have a ginormous spider over here. I just looked at my curtain and was like, that one's real.
It's a Halloween decoration. It's just a Halloween decoration. All right.
We hauled some wood in. No sun. This one right here. Hold on.
The real one.
Right there.
The real one.
As I'm looking at the spider, right above it is my Easter lily that is currently blooming. So I have like all the holidays happening in my house right now.
I mean, it sounds like good times to me. I'm just saying.
All right.
All right.
I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.